So let's tell people, who are you?
Okay, well, Calvin Wiley, and I went to school down here for Western. I'm originally from Barron County. Got a farm 45 minutes east of here, my family does. Small dairy farm. That's what I kind of grew up doing, helping on that. And then
But where'd you go before you went to Western? Did you go to Barron County High School?
Yep.
You're not a Glasgow kid?
No,
You're not a snob then, like some of those other Glasgow kids.
Right. I mean, I've got a lot of Glasgow friends, you know, they're good people too.
You're so political. Come on, there's a rivalry there. We know that.
Yeah, there is. But no, I was a Trojan. I'm, you know, from the farm, from the county.
So were you the south part of the county?
Yeah, I'm southeast Barron County.
Okay.
Chapel Hill kind of area.
Okay.
That's where our farm is. And grew up, helping on the small dairy farm, doing crops. And, you know,
like what crops did you guys do?
Corn, a little soybean, but mostly just always corn. We did tobacco, but that was when I was a kid.
Did you ever have to cut tobacco?
No, I never.
That's the worst job I've ever done.
I never had to work in tobacco, so but I grew up, you know, doing dairy farming and stuff like that. A lot of tractor work and whatnot, feeding cattle. Then I graduated Barron County and came down here. I actually went about the first year and a half at Glasgow campus at Western, and then moved down here, went to Western here, and graduated in '08 and started traveling quite a bit.
What'd you get your degree in?
It was interdisciplinary studies.
Okay.
Started out in agriculture because that's what I knew, is what I was from. Thought it'd be easy, and it was familiar and all. But then I kind of got burnt out a little bit on agriculture and got into kind of the outdoor department at Western, and started doing the outdoor rec and education type classes. Just finished out my bachelor's and all that.
So back to the family farm. Was your grandpa the first one on the farm, or is it?
My great-grandfather pretty much established the farm as I know it.
Okay, so it's what now? 3-4 generations?
Yeah, it'd be at least 4 generations.
Okay.
Harley is my grandpa.
Okay.
My great-grandfather.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, so Harley.
Because I saw what was it on your personal Instagram story? Your grandpa's still on the farm.
Yeah, my grandpa, I'm still close to him. He's still helping on the farm quite a bit. He still runs some equipment. He's had a few health issues, but he just turned 90, so he's really fortunate to still be out there doing some stuff like he does. You know, running some pretty good size equipment and some stuff that's kind of complicated to run, but he can still do it on occasion. So, and he loves to do it.
And you actually, other than farming equipment, do you also fly?
Yeah, I fly small planes.
Okay.
Little old, usually vintage type airplanes, Piper, Cessnas, Veronicas. Around World War II to 1960s, 70s type vintage planes. That's what I got into after high school, and I got my license down here in Bowling Green. Started coming down here, taking lessons and whatnot. And
where would you take lessons at?
it was here at the airport. It was out there on the field with Honecker and then Gibbons Aviation, the small flight school that's over there at the airfield. And started doing that right after high school and got my license. And then had a friend, actually originally one of my father's friends, a guy around his age, got me into flying and got me into kind of picking planes, finding one, a little old vintage plane for cheap from, a person or somebody that got out of flying. Buy it, bring it home, clean it up, try to flip it, make a little money on it. And that's what I got into for a few years, doing that quite a bit. Just flying around, take an airline flight to Kansas, go look at a little old plane, make sure it was decent enough to make it back home, fly it home, clean it up, do a couple things to it, try to sell it.
Any close calls with ones that you were like, I'm not sure this one's going to make it back home?
I've had a few close calls over the years. Of course, when you're starting out flying, you're like most every pilot is, they're cocky and they think, they're hot stuff now that they have a license and they can fly low and do things that shouldn't do. But I had a few close calls doing stuff like that and learned to be a little more responsible, a little safer. But then I've had a couple close calls too, flying planes back home. One time I was flying in the northeast up around Pennsylvania. Kind of got in a little snowstorm.
Yeah.
I kept going, but I was trying to press on through and make it to the next airport. And the visibility just kept dropping and dropping, and I was flying kind of in between some valleys, and I kind of got lower down, boxed in, and I had to land on an old field down by some railroad tracks, just in the snow. After I almost hit one of those big tall McDonald's signs that kind of stick up through the snow and fog, scared me quite a bit. And I landed there and I walked down the railroad tracks for probably a quarter of a mile and went to ended up being an old man and woman at their house. They took me in, gave me some food and everything, and gave me a place to stay for the night. And then I was able to make it a little further. Actually, I was there for a couple of days until I could truly get there. But I made it onto the airport and I was socked in there for a couple of days. But yeah, so now I try to be pretty.
So you're more responsible now after a little age.
Yeah, I think so.
And so, okay, you went to college. You talked about that. What'd you do right out of college?
Right out of college, I was kind of doing airplanes. I'd help on the farm too, part of the year, especially the busy times, harvest time and all that. And then I would just fly around, go get a little plane somewhere out west or up north, and then bring it in, clean it up. And then I started getting into backpacking and stuff like that, kind of budget traveling, on what I could save up from farming and flipping a plane or two. And started traveling the world, kind of doing that. A couple backpacking trips, then a couple little motorcycle trips where I got into these dual sport on off-road dirt bikes.
Okay.
How you can ride around on those. They're pretty cheap. Have all your camping gear on the back. Stay in hostels when you're in the city and camp when you're out in the country. Cheap way to get around. You get at least 50, 60 miles to the gallon. So it's a fun way to go out and explore.
Where's your favorite place to backpack?
As far as backpacking goes, Patagonia was one of the best.
All right, show us, because you have an actual map here.
Yeah, sure. Well, I did Patagonia. Well, actually, South America, at least West South America, I did. That was my first big motorcycle trip. I got on this website where people buy and sell bikes all over the world. I got with a Canadian that rode all the way down here, and when he got to Buenos Aires, he wanted to leave his bike and fly home. So I made a deal with him. I flew in here, bought his bike, and I rode down here to down the east side of Argentina to Ushuaia, to the southernmost city in the world. Then kind of turned and went back up north through Patagonia, through Chile, Argentina. Rode up through there. That's just, the most. So
did you read the Motorcycle Diaries or something?
Yeah.
I kind of figured where this was going. So how was it compared to the Motorcycle Diaries, that trip?
It was definitely more modern and wasn't any crazy things.
And you didn't create a revolution out of it?
Yeah, no revolution or anything. I was pretty mellow with it.
But was it life-changing? And
more or less, yeah, definitely got me hooked on further travels and more motorcycle trips and all that. I went Patagonia, then through Bolivia, and through Peru, rode up to Machu Picchu, and then Ecuador, Colombia. And when I got to the coast of Cartagena up there on the coast of Colombia, I put on that website that I wanted to sell my bike, and a couple days after I arrived, an Australian guy came in and bought my motorcycle, and then he took off and who knows where with it, and I flew home. So.
That's crazy. Okay. So you didn't go through Panama though?
No, I didn't cross the Darien Gap. You have to ship your bike over on a boat or a plane because there's the Darien Gap is the last 100, 150 miles of no road, no man's land between Central America and South America. Where there's no Pan American highway. And used to have FARC, Colombian, anti-government guerrillas all there. That was really dangerous, but now Colombia's pretty safe. They had a truce and whatnot.
So did you ever get in Medellin or anywhere like that?
I did, yeah. I went to Medellin.
What year was that?
That would have been probably 2010.
So it's totally sanitized from what it was.
Yeah, I thought it was safe back, even in 2010 or 11. I thought it was pretty safe, as long as you didn't get way off in the jungle where the FARC and stuff were.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
So that's your favorite trip? Or just the best backpacking? And
that's just one of. Yeah,
where's your favorite spot on that whole map?
Favorite spot that other than the U.S. that feels most like home because I go there a fair amount is Costa Rica.
Okay.
I know it's, you know, can be touristy to a lot of people, but go down there. I used to go down there once or twice a year,
Yeah.
and I trade in old trucks too, old Toyota Land Cruiser.
Okay.
And they have those down in Costa Rica, some old diesel ones that they don't have here. And you can go down there and find one for cheap and bring it back, clean it up, make a little money on it too. I've done that a couple times, drove through Central America with a truck and from Costa Rica to here. Well, I've done that once, but my last time it didn't work out too well. I got my truck seized. The Mexican government seized my truck. Yeah.
Why would they do that?
Well, I was using Google Maps and I was in a different part of Guatemala this last time, and they told me to take this one route into Mexico that was on Google Maps, and it's like, go this way. And I went way down this road, probably an hour and a half down this gravel road through a couple villages to this Mexican border, but I guess hindsight, it wasn't an official border. The Mexican military were there, and I came up to them. They looked at my truck and they let me in, but immigration and customs weren't there, so I didn't get all the proper paperwork.
Okay.
The military was just telling me, go on up to this certain town and you can get it done there, and I'm like, okay. And I should have just turned back and went back into Guatemala, but I got stopped on into Mexico a couple hours, and at a big customs checkpoint. They're like, where are all your papers for your truck? Because if you drive into Mexico, you have to leave a deposit, you have to do all these papers, on your truck and everything. And I said, well, I came in at this border, pointed at the map, and they informed me, well, you're here illegally, your truck's illegal, so we're gonna take it.
Okay.
After staying there in that town for probably a little over a week, trying to figure out if I could get my truck back, I realized that there really wasn't much of a way. I could get a lawyer, they would certainly take my money, but I would talk to some people that knew, and they were like, you're gonna pay more. You might get your truck back someday, but you're gonna pay way more getting your truck back than you pay for your truck, so it's just, a lost cause. So I got a bus up to Cancun and flew home. That was not
It's an interesting, that's good advice for anyone who's watching. Part of the reason I wanted you to talk about that is because now you have this shop called Rome. Why did you name it Rome?
Well, actually, I had some friends at Print Mafia. They came up with the name. Actually, Connie and Stacey, Connie from Print Mafia, they were in here brainstorming, and they had the idea. Actually, had on the back of their phone had like a
poster.
Yeah,
I know the poster you're talking about.
Yeah, and I've got.
I may actually insert it. I may actually insert it in the video now.
Sure.
It's the one with the mountain.
Yeah.
So we'll insert it there.
Yeah, so it's we've been thinking for a while, probably for a couple months, trying to figure out a name that would fit kind of a travel themed place, and they kind of took care of that for me. So.
And so, how did you get from farm, doing all the stuff you did, to being I think all your travels, they don't sound as crazy as opening a restaurant. So tell me how you got to that.
Well, that was almost by happenstance. I'd never anticipated or thought of opening a restaurant at all. I thought maybe one day I'd like to have a hostel, because that's kind of what I enjoy when I travel. Just all different people from different places meeting up, and talking about cool things. But I was walking down this alley a little over a year ago, and I was with my cousin, he was hunting Pokemon, and so we were down through here and saw this little building, looked in the window, it was vacant, and I just thought it was really neat, and I was like, I just want to do something cool here,
figure it out.
And mutual friends put me in touch with Krista Delaney, and we went in, and she kind of was the brains behind all the food, and she created the menu and all. It's been a good lunch menu, good solid lunch sandwiches, stuff like that people like. And then my whole thing was just to create the atmosphere with
let's walk up here while you show it. So is this some stuff you've picked up over time?
Yeah, most of the stuff was just kind of some books I collected from some, like some silent shops, Habitat for Humanity. But I've had a few people to donate some stuff too. Like Dr. Spencer here from Western, he's wrote several books that are really neat, outdoorsy type books.
And then, of course, you got the flags and everything. You got even surfboards up top.
That surfboard was that was the only thing left after they took my truck that I had on that trip. So,
what's the concept by the food? Since you had someone else who set it up, but what's the concept?
Well, the concept basically with the food is just kind of some good quality lunch, meats, cheeses, stuff like that. Everything that we get is pretty fresh, pretty regional. We use a Creation Garden, and that's pretty regional type.
Yeah.
We're hoping to work in the future more with some super local farmers and whatnot, but we get most everything that is all natural type stuff, you know, no preservatives and things like that. And we have a super little kitchen and only one kitchen refrigerator, so that means all our ingredients are coming in daily or every other day. So you're talking, you know, pretty fresh stuff because we don't have the room to really store much, you know, for days at a time.
And I noticed you get coffee from Nashville, from Bongo Java.
We got Bongo Java. We're you know, our main thing's not coffee, but we certainly have that as an addition. But
and you also have beer, and you have every other drink.
We got the cooler in the back with all the. We have some pretty good selection of craft beer, a few domestics, and we're wanting to get into some nighttime stuff too. I know our name says Sandwich Company, and that's, you know, associated with lunch, but we really want to be a unique little pregame spot too on a Friday, Saturday night before you go out, maybe to, you know, the A-frame or Tidballs. Come by here and get, you know, a beer or two and a sandwich, or we're in the process of coming up with some nighttime food as well though. We got good brisket, good pork for like the Cuban stuff like that, so we're gonna do some nachos with that kind of thing. So
you've had even Rose Hotel. I mean, you've had pretty much some of the better known music.
Yeah, we've had some good local artists play out here, and it's really a cozy little ideal spot for a singer-songwriter, 1, 2, 3 people type thing. Real chill. People seem to like the patio and definitely like the atmosphere inside too.
And you've had visual artists come here as well. You've had events with the local arts, so you are pretty arts-oriented, travel-oriented. People who want to plan vacations, probably good to come here and pick your brain of how to keep your vehicle when you get into the country.
Yeah, that's really the main thing I wanted to be about, is just a cool spot where people come, congregate, talk about art, music, traveling for sure. I've got my little travel library up there. You can grab a book about some place you want to go and just sit down, have a sandwich or a beer, and, you know, just do some studying. The vision now going forward is to continue to do solid lunch stuff that people know us for, but to really establish ourselves as a good little pregame, cozy pregame spot, you know, on a Friday, Saturday night. And it's, you know, and people like that vibe. They come in here, you know, all the time through the week. People that have never been here, they come in, the first thing they say is, oh wow, you know, I never knew this was here. And second is, this reminds me of some cool spot in East Nashville or Chattanooga or whatnot. You know, it's just a cool little hole in the wall.
Speak on that first one, because a lot of people, part of the reason you picked this is because it was a cool spot, but at the same time, a lot of people don't know it's here.
Yeah, that's the pro and con of this cool little spot in the back of an alley is, number one, no visibility, no parking. But once people find out about it, the atmosphere and the food make up for it.
But you're basically, if we looked out the window right over your shoulder right now, that's Steamers. 440's back is to the left of you, and the Capitol is to the right of you. So just go to the alley.
Right, yeah, that's what I tell people when they call in or whatnot and they ask about it, is you just walk, you know, right down the alley beside the Capitol Arts Theater. We're right here in the back, which is the Capitol Arts Theater too, is such a wonderful place, great people there. They really, whenever there's an event there, even if it's not during normal business hours, we'll try to stay open because we all kind of small business here, help promote each other. And I love having free food and drink before some kind of cool event, like the Lost River Sessions. They've been really great, just helping, you know, we promote their stuff, and then they bring a few people over before a show or something, and that's, you know, it's just really, I like the local community, the A-frame, you know, the Capitol people, Lost River people. It's just really, and all the local artists and musicians. It's just all about kind of just helping each other, you know, helping local.
Sounds awesome. Now that we've pitched the business, let's do this. What's the 4 places you would suggest people, if they've never traveled to go to? Because I like to get people out of Bowling Green. It's good to get out of town, see the world, all that. Where would you suggest like a college student or even a family to go?
Got to go with the Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
You know, that's spectacular, and even a little bit further north into Canada, you know, into the...
So you're a big Vancouver person?
Yeah, I like Victoria Island. Vancouver was awesome. Banff National Park. All those places are, and you know, Arden Northwest too.
Are you flying or are you driving that?
Motorcycle is what I've done most of it in. I've not done much flying in the Northwest.
Okay, but I'm saying from Kentucky to there.
I would. You know, I guess.
You're more of a driving type?
I am, yeah, but I know the central part of the U.S. sometimes, you know, gets boring on the way over.
But don't they miss like Montana and Colorado and all that?
Yeah, Montana's awesome for sure. Definitely been around Montana, Missoula.
Cool.
Love that little college town.
Where's another place? Because I'm trying to get people to go other than Destin and the typical places we always go here. Where's another place that's pretty close?
Well, like I was saying again, going back to Costa Rica, bang for your buck. I mean, Nashville, you can get round trip flights for less than $400.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, it's super safe. Granted, some of it's touristy.
Sure.
It's a little more pricier than neighboring Nicaragua or Panama, but
sure. But the safety aspect will get a lot of people.
I think it's safer than a lot of cities here.
Okay.
For sure. But Costa Rica, the Pacific Northwest, Montana, all those kind of places.
Anywhere else?
Eastern Europe, I rode through, you know, Eastern Europe.
Really? Okay.
Super amazing.
What's your favorite country in Eastern Europe?
Maybe Romania. Yeah, I did a little archaeological field school there, and we were working on exhuming medieval burials and stuff.
Wait. Okay, tell me this. What did you do?
I did an archaeological field school in Romania, just for a couple of weeks.
Okay, but what were you looking for?
Well, we were working with Canadian University and a museum in Romania, a local museum, just kind of documenting, cataloging some burials in a couple different areas.
Who was buried there? Who were you?
Just commoners, you know.
Okay.
Common medieval burials, just studying, you know, kind of a few different things. And of course, I don't have any prior archaeological experience, but
yeah, but were they trying to get the culture of that time period? What were they trying to get out of it?
From what I remember, there was two different parts. I was the field school part, kind of an entry level, learning how to do archaeology.
The grunt.
Then they had the lab side that we would send some bones and stuff to.
Okay.
And they would just study, I guess, just like as far as anthropology goes, the way they lived at that time, that area, what they were, I guess, what the culture was about, and all that. Anybody, I'll be glad to answer any kind of questions. What we've got coming up over the fall, hopefully, is a lot of good little patio events. We've got a little fire pit that we pull out sometimes, and hopefully have some really fun Friday, Saturday nights, and of course the regular lunch, you know, through the week. And we also do box lunches as well for you know.
And you rent this space.
Yeah, and we've done a few little. It's great for probably inside. You're looking at 30 people or less.
But if you have a small office party, this would be a good spot for it.
Yeah, or I've done like a graduation party, you know, college graduation, or any kind of
So people can rent this place out.
It's a really cozy, unique little spot, and if the weather's okay, the patio more than doubles the occupancy. So it's
Awesome. Thanks, Calvin.
Yeah.